The notion that global warming is a war by the mainstream media against Christianity is a concept that has gained traction in certain circles. Proponents of this idea argue that the media's persistent focus on climate change is, in fact, a veiled attack on Christian values and principles. According to this line of thinking, the media's crusade against global warming is merely a conduit for promoting a secular, liberal agenda that undermines the teachings of Christianity. At the heart of this argument lies the claim that Christianity is inherently at odds with the environmental movement. Some Christians believe that the Bible grants humanity dominion over the natural world, and that environmentalism is an attempt to usurp God's authority. This interpretation is often based on a literal reading of the book of Genesis, which states that humans are to subdue and have dominion over the earth. Proponents of this view argue that the media's emphasis on environmentalism is an attempt to supplant Christian values with a pagan, atheistic ideology. Furthermore, critics argue that the media's coverage of global warming is often characterized by a sense of urgency and alarmism, which they see as a tactic to create a sense of moral panic. This, they claim, is designed to manipulate public opinion and coerce people into adopting a particular worldview. By framing climate change as a moral imperative, the media is, in effect, creating a new moral framework that competes with traditional Christian values. This framework emphasizes the importance of collective action, social justice, and the protection of the planet, which some Christians see as a threat to their individual freedoms and values. However, some Christians believe that the media's focus on global warming is part of a broader effort to undermine traditional Christian teachings on issues such as population control, consumption, and stewardship. The idea of sustainable development, for example, is often seen as a euphemism for population control, which some Christians view as a threat to the biblical mandate to be fruitful and multiply. Similarly, the emphasis on reducing consumption and living simply is seen as an attack on the prosperity gospel, which emphasizes the importance of material success as a sign of God's favor. In addition, the media's tendency to lionize environmental activists and demonize climate skeptics is seen as a form of ideological bias. Critics argue that the media's failure to provide balanced coverage of the issue and its tendency to marginalize dissenting voices is evidence of a deeper agenda to promote a particular worldview. This, they claim, is a form of intellectual intolerance that undermines the principles of free speech and open debate. However, it is essential to note that not all Christians share this perspective. Many Christian denominations and organizations have explicitly endorsed the need for environmental action, citing biblical teachings on stewardship and the importance of caring for creation. These Christians argue that environmentalism is not a threat to Christian values, but rather an expression of them. They point to passages such as Psalm 24:1, which states that the earth is the Lord's, and everything in it, as evidence that Christians have a biblical mandate to care for the planet. In conclusion, the idea that global warming is a war by the mainstream media against Christianity is a complex and multifaceted issue. While some Christians see the media's focus on climate change as a threat to their values and principles, others view environmentalism as an expression of their faith. Ultimately, the relationship between Christianity and environmentalism is nuanced and multifaceted, and cannot be reduced to simplistic narratives or ideologies. As the debate over climate change continues to evolve, it is essential to approach the issue with nuance, respect, and a commitment to open and honest dialogue.